Everybody, please give a warm round of applause for Doug Hanna. A warm welcome for Laura Eisman as they make their way out here to talk about what she is doing in the New York cannabis market. Thanks, everybody. Douglas Hanna.
Okay, yep.
I'm not Laura.
I hope not.
I may have jumped the gun. Regardless, Laura's getting mic'd right now. Everybody, as we make our way through this, we will have a few more presentations. I don't know what Doug's going to do for questions from you all, but we do want your questions, so please make sure you guys are participating. With that, Doug, maybe you want to tell us a little bit about you.
Sure. Well, here comes Laura now. Hi, everyone. My name is Doug Hanna, one of the partners at Silverleaf Venture Partners. We're a venture VC that is dedicated towards cannabis. And we have made 32 investments since June of 2018, so a little over 3 years. Love the space. Delighted to start seeing everybody back from COVID, of course, which virtual conferences are not nearly as nice as seeing everyone's warm face. And today I've got Laura Eisman with me, and I've been really impressed at looking at her products. She's been building a brand. It's called her Highness. And it's a woman-focused luxury cannabis lifestyle brand that has exclusively been targeting the female clientele. They are now in California. They're in Nevada. They're in Massachusetts. They're getting ready to launch in Colorado in the next several weeks. And they're going to be launching, I believe it's in Canada, right?
Yep, Canada is next.
Canada's next. So let's dive into it. Let's talk about, with Laura, why your brand is different. What do you do to differentiate yourself from all the millions of brands that I see in all these different dispensaries, Laura?
So Her Highness is completely women-focused. We're unapologetic about that fact. Most of the brands are not willing to give up, the 48% of the population, but we feel 52% of the population is a really great market. And when I was looking for cannabis products, I really felt that I had to kind of find a product that would work for me. I was always looking for, what could work for me, the effects that I needed, or anyway, my partner and I were two women founders. We decided to come into the cannabis space, really ferociously take up that white space, and so really create a brand that is based on a lifestyle. Knowing the customer, the female customer, creating brands, creating products from that perspective, and just with women in mind, then doing an entire lifestyle brand from CBD products to THC in legal markets to beautiful accessories. And that's been our strategic, opening really into the cannabis industry.
Now, Laura, this is not your first rodeo. You founded a company back in 1998, I believe, called girlsshop.com.
Yes.
And that was a online shopping platform for women. Give us just a quick 30-second overview on how that went and maybe how that prepares you for what you're doing today.
So early internet, I felt, again, it's a similar situation to how I feel now with cannabis and why I entered an early industry that was male-dominated. At that point, there was really not a reason for women to go on the internet. And I decided to create a reason. And so I brought shopping online. With $5,000 of my own money, I built a prototype. I learned HTML myself. And I cold called fashion designers based in New York City. Cynthia Rowley, Betsy Johnson, a bunch of them signed up. And I launched to a bevy of press, the New York Times style section, did an article on it. But anyway, the point is that women, I felt after I did this that I did have the power to put something out there for women, and that I really changed the course of that. A lot of the things that I implemented back then are still in play now, and really defined how women shop. And so, for cannabis, for me, again, it was this industry that was very male-dominated, and I wanted to make a difference, and I wanted to change the course and make it welcoming to women, and kind of give women that empowerment that actually there is something created for them. And that's how that started. And my co-founder, Allison Krongard, another entrepreneur who, creates products in her past business. And we came together in a really special way and felt like we were the two women to do this.
Great. Let's talk about your products right now. I'm really impressed with some of the different types of products, but not only the different types of products that you have created, but we've gotten a chance to kind of really get into your formulations and to get into how these different products are going to affect and why the products were designed for women. Let's show the audience some of the products that you have.
I wonder if I should do this. Oh, it doesn't work. Press firmly. Oh, okay. Just to backstep a minute, so this is women are 40% of the market not being served, really an underserved market. And back to this whole power that women have in, purchasing. 85% of all purchases are led by women. And then this is really important. Women are actually entering cannabis space at twice the rate of men. And so this is a statistic that is now known and needs to be addressed. And so hopefully I'm not the only one doing this. But I wanted to get to this slide. So this is, we bring cannabis into a woman's world. And so we create products around how women live their lives. One of the products, let's see what I'm going to. So we start with these beautiful accessories. They are solid marble with brass legs, and so we call it our Thigh High collection. Everything has an appropriate name, and this is our stash box that's up on the screen. These are some of our other products. We do pre-rolls, we do vapes, we have a pleasure oil, which I definitely want to get into. This product we call our Get Lit Kit. So the other thing that we're doing in cannabis is we want to bring gifting into cannabis. So this is a perfect example of that, where you could bring this to a host, as a hostess gift to a dinner party. And it's just this beautiful unboxing moment. Lit for a Queen is on the lid. And this is our beautiful grinder. You should actually take this out because you will be impressed.
Oh, it's got a nice weight to it.
Yes.
Very nice. Now, a lot of these accessories can be bought right on your website, correct?
Yeah, so all of the accessories and the CBD are available on our website, herhighness.com. This is our lips ashtray, and this is a lighter. So the lighter really almost looks like a lipstick in your purse. If I can get it out, maybe you can get it out.
I'm going to work on that for you. There you go.
So this is our lighter, and it's just this beautiful gold, very discreet.
Very nice.
And I do want to talk about this as well, but our vape pen, we almost treat like a piece of jewelry. It's this gold-plated vape in a presentation, and it's designed to be this very slim formula. I do want to talk about the formulations, though.
I was hoping you were going to get to it. I was very impressed with that in the back when we were talking on how long you've spent dialing in these formulations, which has taken time, and you've gotten a lot of feedback from your consumers. So this has been fine-tuned over the last several years. Tell the audience a little bit more about that.
Formulations are everything. When things become very generic, you can have a very generic high. When we're dealing with women, there are certain effects like low munchies, and women mostly don't like a couch lock effect. And so I always tell this story about how Allison and I would, we're New Yorkers, we'd go to California every other week and just work on our formulations. And this one time, we would rent an Airbnb with a courtyard and create this very Breaking Bad moment where we'd have our formulator and we'd be there like formulating, it needs a little more of this or that. And after a grueling day of formulating, one of our friends came over with a pre-roll and we lit it up. And all of a sudden, Allison and I were like, "You're so cute, and you're so funny, and how pretty." And we just felt like, we really had to bottle this formula. We became very giddy, very happy, and we wound up creating our most popular vape formula called Giggle. And so we've gotten lots of feedback on how it's a mood changer, and it just makes everyone just social and happy. So that's really where we come from on the formulation. We also, the pleasure oil, do you want to go into that?
Yes.
now? So this is another product that's specifically for women. We created pleasure oil. It's for intensified orgasms, and it creates a longer, stronger, more dispersive orgasm. It's made especially for women. It has cannabis and CBD, and then it has an extract of a non-cannabis flower that when used in cooking creates a pulsating, salivating effect on your tongue. And so we found this ingredient, we worked with an herbalist and created this winning formula that women rave about. And it's so popular that we also created a travel pack that we call Come on the Go.
Now, this has become one of your best-selling products, right?
That is our best. We've gotten the most press on that, the most reviews. It is our #1 seller in both CBD and THC.
Now, one of the other things that I was impressed with, once again, your products are really geared towards the female consumer. Tell us a little bit about this pre-roll and why that's designed differently than any other pre-roll that I would buy in a dispensary.
I'll talk about our pre-roll. So our pre-roll is 0.5 grams, but for this more elegant experience for women, we decided to elongate the pre-roll and put this extra long crutch on it. So it's 40 millimeter crutch, so that when you're holding it, your manicure is not getting melted. And when you light it, your eyelashes are not singed because it's away from your face. And this in particular, so I want to talk about this product because we had this social equity mission that we wanted to accomplish. And we were watching Last Prisoner Project. We have respect for Last Prisoner Project, but we noticed that every time they featured a prisoner for release, it was a man. And so over and over again, to see a man, we were just wondering, where are the women? So we dove into the women and we researched their stories. And in fact, women are in prison because of an association with a man. They're only 10% of prisoners, so they kind of get lost in the whole fundraising process. They're basically forgotten in jail. 80% of them are moms. And we wanted to highlight their stories. And so this woman in particular, she was arrested with 4 ounces on her, and she was sentenced to 10 years in federal prison.
Wow.
And she served every minute of that sentence, and now she's on probation for 5 years. These 2 women who are cousins both allowed funds from someone else's cannabis sale to go into their bank accounts, and so they were sentenced to 7 years in prison. One of them had a daughter, the other one had lupus in prison. The stories go on, but the important thing is that nobody was there helping them get out of prison. Her boyfriend was the dealer. And so what we're doing is we show their faces on this product and we tell their stories. And so we are bringing the stories to the forefront. And
it's my understanding that you give back to this charity through some of your sales, is that correct?
Yeah, so 50% of the sales of these products go into the pockets of these women. So they're all out of prison, they're trying to restart their lives, and that's what we're raising money for. So, we're about all women, and also feel like nobody should really enter the cannabis space as a business if they don't understand and embrace, what has happened in the past and what is still going on. And so this is a true mission of importance to us.
So I've noticed you have a lot of different products. Laura's going to be available after this session to answer any additional questions. We're going to try to reserve a few minutes here to go over some questions. But where are you looking to expand next? How are you going to get into the other 49, 50, 48 states in the U.S., now that you've penetrated a few of them?
Right. So I'd love to touch on our business model. Like we've said, Her Highness has a CBD collection, and then we have our accessories collection, and then we enter into each state, each THC state, with a partner. So we look to partner with an MSO or an operation in that state. And so far we have amazing partners, including Tilt Holdings and Body and Mind in Nevada. And the way that we're becoming this national brand for women in cannabis is by entering these states and also strategically having our non-cannabis products out in the market. So the other states that we're looking at going into right now are Florida and Michigan and Illinois and a few other international opportunities as well.
Wonderful. Now, I'm a VC. Are you going to be raising money anytime soon? I mean, how do I get a piece of this action?
So Merida has been a backer of ours since the very beginning and has always is the lead investor in our rounds, and we are opening up a new round for an investment. Will be like our Series A.
Wonderful, wonderful. Are you going to be doing that anytime in the near future, or
yes,
beginning of next year, or
no, very soon?
Q4.
Yeah, it'll be open very soon.
We have about 5 minutes left. Does anybody have any questions? We can keep going on, but I didn't know if anybody in the audience had any questions for Laura. No? Okay. So after your raise, where are you going to be allocating some of that money for? Are you going to look to increase your marketing, certain penetration, work on more products? What's next for Her Highness?
So we're always developing new products. We're entering new markets, so packaging is something that we need to invest in because we need to supply packaging to all our partners. And we have not yet, so we've raised, to be transparent, we've raised less than $2 million, and we've created these very beefy collections and this very aggressive expansion plan. When we raise our money, our new round that will open, a lot of it is going to go to marketing.
Tell us a little bit about your plans for New York City. I know that you're looking to open up a flagship store, I believe on Madison Avenue, is that correct?
Yes, so in true Her Highness fashion, when we open our retail store, it will be the Bergdorf of cannabis. And so we will bring in other women-owned brands with us, and it'll just be kind of a very, I watch women try to navigate dispensaries all the time. It's kind of a pastime for me, and I come from retail. And it's really hard to, especially be a woman, and enter something that is not the way that we normally like to shop. And so we love to read labels and pick things up and, kind of browse through a store. And so, really do want to change the dispensary experience. So creating this flagship store, and then we'd love to franchise it and become like the cookies for women.
Now, I know that you're obviously focused on the female sector of the consumer side. Is there an age demographic that you're shooting for? Are you shooting for the millennials? You shooting for the baby boomers? Or are you trying to just play in trying to have a product for everybody?
Well, we feel our market is all women. I mean, initially, because it's more of a sophisticated aesthetic, we were targeting 35 and up. But we've come to learn that all women really seem to be attracted to the brand. So millennials love it. And so, we're really, like, for example, we are just launching in Urban Outfitters. We've really kind of going into mainstream, not even going into mainstream, it's where we're starting from mainstream. So, kind of by bringing cannabis to women and starting with the market that we know, we're able to have products that are kind of crossed into mainstream.
Wonderful. We're just about ready to wrap up. I just figured one more shot. Does anybody have any questions for Laura about any of these products?
None. She's putting her money where her mouth is. Thank you all very much. That was a very insightful fireside.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Laura Eisman of her everybody, moderated by Douglas Hanna. Doug Hanna, what do you prefer? Doug?
Doug's fine.
Doug is fine.
Sign checks, Douglas.
Doug Hanna from Silverleaf Venture Partners, well-respected investor in this industry, y'all. Thank you both very, very much. I love the Last Prisoner Project partnership. All right, y'all, we are going to keep this moving. Thank you very much for being with us here today, and thank you everybody watching virtually at home. I know we have several hundred of you at a time. We appreciate you all tuning in. Thank you all.